I'm going to date myself here. I started in the financial services market in 1998, summer of 98. In 2000, we had the internet boom, and one of the hottest stocks in that internet boom was Akamai. Let's take a look at what happened all the way back to 2000 here. As you can see, $300 a share. This stock was doing what? What is Akamai doing? Well, current day, cloud computing, security on websites, but what they were really doing back then and over the time is content delivery. They're basically helping major producers of content, major websites essentially, get from A to B, trusted security, all of the stuff that goes kind of behind the scenes, the pipes of the internet essentially. Their huge customers are Sony and Apple and Microsoft and Google and some of the biggest players in the world. However, despite the fact that in 2000 we thought this was going to be the hottest thing since sliced bread, you can see from the 2002 lows that this stock just slowly ground higher from about $20 to $100 here essentially over the course of multiple decades. Let's take a look at the numbers as to why that happened. So let's go back to 2016 and take a look at what actually happened to Akamai. And what happened was it was a really kind of medium-sized grower. It grew at 6%, 9%, all the way up to 11% here over time. But it was kind of a high mid-single digit grower, which is a little bit better than average growth, but just a little bit better essentially, right? And what happened to the stock from 2016 to 2023? Well, 2016, the enterprise value was $10 billion. It went to $20 billion. So the stock doubled in 7 years. That's exactly what stocks are supposed to do, right? So essentially, we've got a decent cash flowing company, a decent growing company, and it just is doing what it's supposed to do. It's not outperforming the market at all. It's not underperforming. It's just right on par with the market, essentially. Let's take a look at the future and see what's going to happen going forward. So here's the most interesting thing that's happening to Akamai, or has happened to Akamai in a long time, right? So revenue growth not supposed to change much, still that high mid-single digits or whatever our area, but what is happening is gross profit is supposed to spike here, and so are his EBITDA margin, net income margin. These numbers are supposed to go up significantly higher, right? Which is really good for the bottom line. Now, are we getting this cheap into a term where margins are about to expand and revenues are supposed to just kind of outgrow the market just a touch here? Well, let's take a look. EV to EBITDA right here, it's probably about 10x, right? Net income margin to enterprise value, that's about 18x. And then free cash flow yield about 5%, right? We would like to buy stocks that are trading are as good as the market at about 12 to 13 times EBITDA or 20 times net income essentially. So this stock is a little bit cheap. Margins are expanding, revenue still looks decent, and here is the call option in Akamai from here. They are in the cloud computing and the security businesses right now. There's a lot going on in delivering video content, and if they can continue to take share, if they can sort of jump up the chain at all and keep these margins even higher than they have been in the past, I think you can see a revaluation of Akamai a little bit higher, right? But if we're just generalizing this stock, its top line growth is not amazing, but not bad. Its production of cash flow is pretty good and getting better, right? So if we're rating the stock from a 1 to a 10, maybe it's in like sort of the 6 area essentially. But if they could grow revenue at 10% plus, a ton of growth investors will jump into this thing. This thing will revalue higher, and you've got a lot of optionality to the upside, right? So overall, I'm not sure I necessarily see it right here, but there's some really good stuff going on at Akamai that could drive this price higher in the future in the longer run. This name Akamai came in from one of our subscribers. We really appreciate you guys. We wanted to make sure we showed you some love here, so thanks for asking for this one. It was fun to do essentially. Keep these things coming, and thanks for all the likes, the pluses, and all the other stuff that goes on. We really appreciate it.